Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. This time, we're going to be talking about making money online.
Interesting.
Yeah. We found this really cool guide that claims to be like the ultimate resource for, well, anyone who wants to make some cash online.
Okay.
So it breaks down all these different methods. Some are pretty common, the ones you always hear about.
Yeah.
But some are a little bit more, well, unexpected.
Like what?
Well, have you ever thought about being like an online tutor?
No, not really.
Yeah. Or like maybe diving into the world of affiliate marketing.
Okay.
And that's just scratching the surface. There's a lot more to uncover.
Sounds like we've got a lot to talk about then.
We do. Okay, so let's just jump right in, shall we? First up is, it's kind of the classic, going the freelancing route.
Right.
Platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, those sorts of things.
Yeah, those are pretty popular.
But the thing is, this guide, it doesn't just say like, hey, go sign up and start bidding on projects,
It does.
No, it really stresses the importance of like building a really strong portfolio. And then also setting competitive rates.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
What do you think, though? I mean, is that really enough?
Enough for what?
To stand out? I mean, in today's freelance market, it's super crowded.
Well, I mean, it's definitely important, like a good starting point,
Yeah.
having that strong portfolio, setting rates that are actually, fair.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think a lot of people get stuck in this mindset of just undercutting everyone else on price.
Oh, yeah.
And it just becomes a race to the bottom.
Oh, totally.
And nobody wins,
Yeah.
So I think the real key is positioning yourself as an expert in a specific niche, like really think about, okay, what skills do I have
Right.
that are actually in demand, and how can I showcase those in a way that makes me stand out,
Right.
from everyone else who's offering the same thing?
So instead of being like a jack of all trades freelancer, you're saying it's better to be like a master of one.
Yeah, exactly. Because, clients, they're willing to pay more, a premium for someone who can really demonstrate expertise.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and a deep understanding of their specific needs. It's about quality over quantity.
Totally. It's like you're building a personal brand, but even within the freelance world.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one thing that people sometimes forget is the importance of relationships.
Relationships.
Yeah, building relationships with clients.
Oh, okay.
Because when you have, a positive experience and you have really strong communication, that can lead to, repeat business.
Yeah.
And referrals, which are honestly way more valuable than constantly having to chase new gigs all the time.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Okay, so speaking of sharing your skills, let's move on to online tutoring.
Online tutoring.
Yeah, this guide highlights platforms like VIP Kid and Udemy. Now, I've always wondered this. Do you actually need to be like a certified teacher to do that, to be successful as an online tutor, I mean?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, while having formal teaching credentials can be, helpful, it's not always a requirement.
Okay.
A lot of platforms, they really focus on specific skills or knowledge areas.
Right.
So it's more about, what are you passionate about? What do you know a lot about? Maybe you're, I don't know, like a coding whiz.
Right.
Or a language guru, or even like a master gardener,
Yeah.
If you have a skill that you can teach someone else, chances are there's an audience out there that wants to learn it from you.
That's a good point, yeah. This guide even suggests that creating like pre-recorded courses can be a real game changer.
How so?
Well, it's basically setting up like a passive income stream. Making money even while you sleep kind of thing.
Oh, the dream.
Yeah, exactly.
But, we have to be realistic. Creating a successful online course, it takes work. It takes effort up front,
Yeah, of course.
You need to develop high-quality content. You have to structure it in a way that makes sense.
Right.
And then you have to market it to the right people. So it's not some get-rich-quick scheme.
Right. It's definitely more to it than just hitting record and uploading a video, but the potential is there.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you have something unique to offer, some special skill or perspective,
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, now this next one is particularly interesting to me. affiliate marketing.
Okay, affiliate marketing.
Yeah, what do you know about it?
Well, I mean, it's basically the art of recommending products and getting a commission, right?
Right.
So, it sounds simple enough, but there's actually a real strategy involved.
Yeah, so the guide, it basically describes it as promoting other companies' products or services through a unique link that's specific to you.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, you have a blog, and it's all about, I don't know, healthy cooking, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could partner with companies that sell, like, kitchen gadgets or organic ingredients.
Right.
And then every time someone buys something using your link, you get a cut.
That's the basic idea, yeah.
What the catch is, and I think this is important, you can't just spam people with random affiliate links.
No, definitely not.
And expect to make a fortune.
Right.
The key is to build trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
And authenticity. Like, your recommendations, they need to feel genuine.
Mm-hmm.
They have to align with what your audience actually cares about.
So it's more about being like a trusted advisor, not just a pushy salesperson.
Exactly. These successful affiliate marketers, they kind of weave those recommendations seamlessly into their content.
Yeah.
They provide valuable information. They do reviews. They do comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
And then they offer those links as a way for their audience to support their work.
Right.
And get access to the things that they are recommending.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Right. Okay, let's move on to a topic that's gotten a lot of buzz lately, e-commerce and dropshipping.
Dropshipping. Okay.
Yeah. So this guide mentions Shopify as a popular platform to set up your online store. But how does dropshipping actually work in practice?
Oh, okay. So basically, with dropshipping, you're selling products without actually having to keep any inventory yourself. So imagine, you set up an online store and you're selling, I don't know, yoga mats.
Okay, yoga mats.
You don't have to buy a ton of yoga mats and store them in your garage or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead, you partner with a supplier and they handle all of that. They handle the inventory, they handle the shipping. And then when someone orders a yoga mat from your store, the order goes directly to the supplier.
Okay.
And they ship it right to the customer.
So you're basically the middleman connecting the buyers with the sellers.
Exactly, yeah.
But how do you actually make money if you don't control the prices?
Well, you mark up the price, right? To cover your costs and make a profit margin.
Okay.
So it's all about finding those reliable suppliers,
Yeah.
who have good quality products.
Right.
And then pricing things competitively, but still, making sure you're making money.
Got it. Sounds like it requires a lot of research, a lot of planning to get it right.
Yeah, for sure.
What are some of the downsides, though, of drop shipping that someone should be aware of?
Well, one challenge is that you don't have as much control over the whole fulfillment process, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, like, if a supplier messes up an order or if they ship a product late, it kind of reflects badly on you, right? Even though it wasn't your fault directly.
Exactly, yeah, even though you weren't directly involved.
You're relying on them to make sure the customer is happy.
Yeah, big time.
Okay, what other potential, pitfalls are there?
Well, I'd say another challenge is competition.
Okay.
Drop shipping has become super popular, which means there's a lot of people doing it.
Right.
So you need to figure out how to make yourself stand out.
Whether it's through, offering really unique products or providing exceptional customer service.
God.
Or maybe you've got some really clever marketing strategies,
Right. It's not quite as easy as some people make it out to be.
No, definitely not.
You still have to be smart about your business and really put in the work to build a successful brand.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit now and talk about something I think a lot of people dream about, content creation.
Oh, yeah, content creation.
Yeah, so we're talking, YouTubers, TikTok stars, bloggers, that sort of thing.
Right. It's definitely appealing,
Yeah.
Especially for people who really value creative freedom.
Yeah.
And the chance to build a loyal audience.
Mm.
But it's not, it's not all glamorous selfies and viral videos.
No, not at all.
There's a lot more to it than that.
Right. And this guide, it's pretty quick to point out that building a successful content creation business takes a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure.
It emphasizes the importance of consistency.
Consistency, yeah.
And patience.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? Is it really possible, in this day and age, to make a living as a content creator?
It is possible, but it's also incredibly competitive.
Oh,
So you have to be passionate about the niche that you're in.
right.
You have to create high quality content that people actually want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be willing to put in the time and the effort to build that following, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a quick path to riches, that's for sure.
So what are some of the key things that you need to consider if you're thinking about going down that path?
Well, first and foremost, like I said, you got to choose a niche that you're actually passionate about.
Okay.
Because if you're not excited about it, if you don't care, it's going to show.
Right.
Your audience will pick up on it.
Yeah. It has to be something you can stick with.
Yeah, even when it gets tough.
Even when it gets tough. Yeah.
Because it will get tough. You know, another thing is you have to be comfortable putting yourself out there.
Putting yourself out there.
Yeah. Because content creation, it often involves sharing, you know, your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
your experiences, your personality with the world.
Yeah.
And not everyone is comfortable with that level of, you know, exposure.
Right. That makes sense. It takes a certain level of confidence
Yeah, for sure.
and maybe even a little bit of vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see content creators making?
Well, one common one is focusing too much on vanity metrics.
Vanity metrics. What do you
No,
mean?
like the number of followers you have
Okay.
or the number of likes you get.
Right. Right.
Instead of actually building a genuine connection with their audience. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's more important to have a smaller, more engaged audience
Yeah.
than a huge following that doesn't really care about what you're doing.
Oh, totally. Totally. It's about building a community,
Yeah.
not just chasing numbers.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about another option that's become increasingly popular. Remote work.
Remote work.
Yeah. So this guide mentions some websites like remote.co and We Work Remotely
Mm-hmm.
as great places to find remote jobs. But what are some of the key benefits of working remotely that you see?
Well, I think for a lot of people, the biggest draw is flexibility.
Flexibility, yeah.
You know, remote work often allows you to set your own hours
Right.
and work from wherever you're most productive.
Mhm.
So that can be a game changer for parents, caregivers, anyone who, you know, values a better work-life balance.
It also can eliminate the commute,
Yeah,
which could be a huge plus.
huge time saver.
Yeah. What about the downsides, though? I mean, some people, they struggle with the isolation of working from home,
Yeah, that's true.
and it can be hard to stay motivated,
Mm-hmm.
when you don't have the structure of an office.
Yeah, those are definitely valid concerns. I mean, remote work is not for everyone. It takes a certain amount of self-discipline.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be able to manage your time effectively.
Right.
And, you know, you also need to be really proactive about communicating with your team.
Right.
And staying connected with your colleagues.
So it's not just about working in your pajamas all day.
No. It takes a different set of skills and a different mindset, really, than traditional office work.
Right. Okay, so in addition to all of these methods, this guide also mentions a bunch of other ways to make money online.
Oh, okay.
Like, it really does seem like there are endless options.
Like what? Give me some examples.
So it mentioned things like selling stock photos, taking online surveys, even writing.
Writing, okay.
Yeah, I guess that includes everything from freelance writing to self-publishing ebooks.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And what's great about these is that they can be combined with other methods.
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, like you could be freelancing as a writer, right? But also selling stock photos on the side.
Ah, got it.
Or, you could be building a following as a content creator and then use that platform to promote your own products or services.
That's smart, yeah.
It's all about finding what works best for you.
Right.
And creating your own unique path to online income.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, so before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's take a step back, see if we can identify some common threads here. What advice does this guide give for anyone looking to make money online, regardless of the path they choose?
Okay, that's a good question. I think there are definitely some key takeaways that apply across the board.
Yeah. Like what?
Okay, so first and foremost, the guide really stresses the importance of identifying your skills and interests.
Right.
You know, what are you good at? What do you enjoy doing?
Right.
What are you passionate about? I mean, it sounds obvious, but it's easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing online,
I totally.
and kind of lose sight of your own strengths and interests.
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, right?
Exactly. You know, if you're not truly interested in what you're doing, it's going to be much harder to succeed.
Yeah, That makes sense. Okay, what else does the guide emphasize?
Another crucial piece of advice is to build a strong online presence.
Online presence. Okay.
Yeah, so this could be a website, it could be a portfolio, it could be, active social media profiles,
Hmm.
or a combination of all of those things.
Okay.
It's really about creating a digital footprint that showcases your skills and makes it easy for potential clients or customers to find you.
It's like building your own brand in the digital world, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Whether you're freelancing, selling products, creating content, whatever it is.
Absolutely. It applies to pretty much everyone. And then finally, this guide emphasizes the importance of consistency and patience.
Okay.
Because building a successful online venture, it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes effort. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right, it's a long game.
Exactly. So it's about setting realistic goals, staying focused, and putting in the work consistently over time.
That's some solid advice to keep in mind as we continue our deep dive. So stay tuned for part 2 of our conversation, where we're going to delve into some real-world examples of how these methods can be put into action. We'll explore how people, just like you, are using these strategies to generate income online. From side hustles to full-time businesses, we'll cover it all. So stick around for more insights and inspiration.
Looking forward to it. All right, so are you ready to see how some of these online money-making methods can actually work, in the real world?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it really helps to see how these concepts actually translate into real-life scenarios,
Okay, so let's say we have someone with like a knack for graphic design.
Okay.
How do you think they could use those skills to make money online?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is freelancing.
Hmm.
Right? Like
Cool.
creating a profile on Upwork or Fiverr, showing
Right.
off their portfolio, and then bidding on projects.
That's a good start. Definitely a solid foundation.
Yeah. But to really thrive in the freelance world, you need to go beyond just being, another graphic designer.
Think about what makes you unique.
Mm.
Do you specialize in a specific type of design? Like, do you do logos?
Right.
Or are you really good at creating social media graphics?
Okay.
Finding your niche and really highlighting that expertise, that's what can make all the difference.
So instead of trying to be everything to everyone, you're saying it's
Yeah.
better to focus on one area and really become an expert in that.
Exactly. Clients are often willing to pay a premium for someone who can really demonstrate a deep understanding of their needs.
That makes sense.
Think about it. If you were launching a new business, wouldn't you rather hire a designer who specializes in branding
Yeah.
than someone who, just kind of dabbles in everything from website design to wedding invitations?
Yeah, that's true.
It's about building that reputation as a go-to expert in a specific field.
Right. Okay. So let's say this hypothetical graphic designer also has a passion for teaching.
Okay.
Could they also use that to make money online?
Oh, absolutely. The
Yeah.
world of online education is huge, and it's growing all the time.
Yeah.
And there's a huge demand for, skilled instructors. Platforms like Skillshare or Udemy, they make it so easy to package your knowledge into these online courses
Right.
and reach a global audience.
Wow.
So our graphic designer could create a course on, logo design, social media graphics, or even, just the fundamentals of design software.
And then with the pre-recorded courses, they could potentially create some passive income.
Yeah, exactly. Earning money even while they're working on other projects.
Or sleeping.
Or sleeping, exactly.
What's the dream?
The dream. But, we have to be realistic here. Creating a successful online course, it takes effort.
Of course.
You need to develop high-quality content, structure it in a way that makes sense, and then market it to the right people.
Right. So it's not as simple as just, hitting record and uploading a video.
No, it's more like building a digital product that, requires attention and refinement.
Okay. So it's a little more involved.
It is. Think of it like writing a book or developing a software program. It takes time planning and a commitment to creating something valuable that people are actually willing to pay for.
Okay. That makes sense. Now let's shift gears a little bit and imagine someone with a completely different passion. Let's say travel photography.
Okay, Charles.
How could they potentially make money online?
Well, one option would be to sell their photos on stock photography websites.
Oh, yeah, like Shutterstock.
Exactly. Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, all those places. Every time someone licenses one of their photos, they earn royalties.
That's a pretty classic example of turning a hobby into a side hustle.
Yeah, and the great thing about stock photography is that, the earning potential just grows as you build your portfolio.
That's true. And with so much visual content online these days, the demand for high-quality photos is only going up.
Absolutely. Now, our travel photographer could also explore the world of content creation,
Okay.
starting a travel blog maybe, or a YouTube channel.
Yeah, sharing those adventures with the world.
Exactly. And with social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok,
Yeah.
they could build a really loyal following of travel enthusiasts.
And then as their audience grows, they could start monetizing their content, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Through things like ad sponsorships, maybe even selling prints of their photos.
Or even offering photography tours or workshops.
Yeah, that's a great idea, teaching others how to capture those amazing travel shots.
It's cool to see how all of these different methods can work together.
It is. It's all about finding what works best for you and creating your own unique path.
Exactly. So our travel photographer could be, freelancing, taking photos for clients while also building their blog and their social media presence, and eventually maybe even transition into a full-time online business.
It's amazing to see how many possibilities there are.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now let's consider a different scenario. Let's say we have a stay-at-home parent who's looking for ways to earn some extra income
Okay.
while still, managing the demands of family life. What options might work well for them?
Well, online tutoring could be a great fit, especially if they have a background in education or just a knack for explaining things to kids. They could tutor students in subjects they're comfortable with, or even teach English as a second language online.
Oh, yeah. There are platforms specifically for that, right?
Exactly. Platforms like VIP Kid connect English speakers with young learners all over the world.
And the flexibility of online tutoring
Yeah.
would give them the freedom to, set their own hours and work around their family schedule.
Exactly. Or if they enjoy writing, they could offer freelance writing services to businesses or websites that need help with their content.
Oh, that's a good one. There's always a demand for good writers.
Always. And a lot of freelance writing gigs can be done remotely on a flexible schedule.
I've also heard of virtual assistant jobs becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, those are great too.
It sounds like a good way to use those organizational skills and provide support to busy professionals.
And it can all be done from home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about those creative outlets like blogging, crafting, or even baking. If someone loves to bake, for instance, they could start a blog sharing their recipes and monetize it through ads or affiliate marketing.
Right. Or they could sell ebooks.
Or they could make and sell crafts on Etsy.
Exactly. There are so many ways to share your talents and passions with the world and potentially earn an income from it.
It's inspiring to see how many options there are.
It is. It really shows that anyone, regardless of their background or experience, can find a way to make money online.
It's all about finding what you're good at, exploring different possibilities, and then taking those first steps.
Exactly. And while all these examples are exciting and inspiring, we should acknowledge that building a successful online venture does take work.
Yeah, it's not a magic bullet or a get-rich-quick scheme.
Definitely not. It takes effort, dedication, and a willingness to learn and adapt.
But the beauty of the online world is that it offers so much opportunity for anyone who's willing to put in the effort.
Absolutely. So let's talk about some of the key takeaways and advice from this guide. For navigating the online world and building a sustainable income, what are some of the most important things to keep in mind as you embark on this journey?
All right, so we've talked about a lot of different ways to make money online.
Yeah, we have.
And it can be, honestly, a little overwhelming.
It can?
Where do you even start?
Right.
Luckily, this guide gives us some pretty solid advice on that.
Oh, good.
On how to actually, get started.
Oh, yeah.
So where does it say to begin?
Well, it all starts with, a bit of self-reflection.
Self-reflection.
Yeah, like figuring out what you're actually good at
Okay.
and what you enjoy doing.
Right. Yeah.
The guide, it really emphasizes the importance of identifying your skills and interests. Like, what are you passionate about?
Yeah.
What unique talents or knowledge do you have?
Right.
It sounds kind of obvious, but it's easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing online
Oh, totally.
and lose sight of your own strength.
Yeah, like you're trying to force yourself into a mold that doesn't fit.
Exactly. Yeah. You might see someone having a lot of success with a certain method.
Right.
But if it doesn't align with you, with your skills, your interests,
Yeah.
it's probably not going to be sustainable.
No, it won't.
So how do you think someone should go about figuring that out? Identifying their strengths and their passions.
That's a good question. I mean, what do you suggest?
Sometimes I think it helps to think back to what you enjoyed as a kid.
Oh, as a kid, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what activities did you just naturally gravitate towards?
Mm-hmm.
Or what subjects in school did you, excel in?
Right.
Those early interests, they can often, give you clues to your innate talents.
Yeah, like uncovering those hidden gems
Exactly.
that we might have forgotten about.
Yeah. And, don't be afraid to experiment,
Okay.
to try new things.
Right.
You might discover hidden talents or passions you never even knew you had.
That's a good point. So once you have, a better idea of your strengths, your passions,
Yeah.
what's next?
Well, the guide then talks about building a strong online presence.
Online presence.
Yeah, and this could be, a website, a portfolio,
Right.
active social media profiles, any of that.
Okay.
It's really about creating that digital footprint that showcases you,
Yeah.
your skills, and makes it easy for people to find you.
It's like building your storefront, but in the digital world.
Yeah, exactly. And that online presence, it's often the first impression that you make.
Right.
So it's crucial to get it right.
Yeah.
Think about, okay, what message do I want to convey?
Mm.
What skills do I want to highlight? What kind of audience am I trying to attract?
And that applies to everything, really.
It does, yeah.
Freelancing, selling products, creating content.
Yeah, if you're looking for remote work,
Mm.
it's essential.
Okay, so online presence, got it.
All right. And then another important thing that the guide talks about is consistency
Consistency, okay.
and patience. Building a successful online venture,
Yeah.
it takes time and it takes effort.
Right, it's not going to happen overnight.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right, it's so easy to get discouraged, though,
It is.
when you don't see, those results right away.
Yeah.
Especially in the online world where everything seems to move so fast.
That's why it's so important to focus on the process, not just the outcome.
Okay.
Set those realistic goals,
Right.
break them down into smaller steps, and
Yes.
celebrate those small wins along the way.
Okay, yeah. Keep that momentum going.
Exactly.
Even when it gets tough.
And that actually leads us to the final piece of advice that this guide offers.
Okay, what's that?
It's to keep learning and adapting.
Learning and adapting. Okay.
Yeah. The online world, it's constantly changing.
Yeah, it is.
So you need to stay curious
Mhm.
and embrace those new technologies
Right.
and trends.
So it's not enough to just learn one thing
No.
and then coast.
You got to keep learning.
Yeah.
You got to keep
It's
adapting.
it's like lifelong learning.
It is. Yeah, stay curious, experiment with new tools,
Yeah.
new platforms.
Right.
The more you learn, the more opportunities will open up.
It makes sense. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From freelancing to e-commerce to content creation.
Yeah.
What's the one key takeaway you hope our listeners walk away with?
That's a good question, I think. For me, it's the realization that the online world offers incredible opportunities for anyone who's willing to put in the effort.
Right.
Whether you're looking for, a side hustle,
Right.
a career change, the freedom to work from wherever you want,
Mm.
there's a path out there for you.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to explore, experiment, and take action.
I love that.
The possibilities they really are limitless.
And I think this guide does a great job of, not only breaking down all the different options,
It does.
but also giving people that inspiration and encouragement
For sure.
that they might need to actually get started.
Absolutely. So as you're thinking about everything that we've talked about,
Yeah.
here's a question for you to consider.
Okay.
What one skill or passion could you monetize online,
Mm.
even if you just started small?
That's a great question for our listeners to think about.
Yeah, what unique value can you offer?
What step could you take, today
Yeah,
to get started?
because remember, even small actions can lead to big results over time.
That's so true. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of making money online.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We hope you found it informative and inspiring and empowering.
I hope so too.
Until next time, keep exploring
Keep learning.
and keep diving deep.